My name is Pedro Rodrigues Ribeiro. I'm a psychologist from Portugal. And just a disclaimer, my background in hypnosis, it's a mixed background. I started my hypnosis training in a clinical and experimental way, very social cognitive, very cognitive behavior. I learned the research side, all the theories, all the different perspectives on hypnosis. I train in self-hypnosis, concepts like hyper-imperia from Don Gibbons. So I started really traditional, let's say. As I progressed in my training, the big chunk of my training was done in Ericksonian approaches to psychotherapy and hypnosis, which I did in Lisbon's Milton Erickson Institute, and also a couple years later I did a mastery course in Ericksonian brief psychotherapy and hypnosis, a mastery course provided by the Milton Erickson Foundation in Arizona. So I would like to say that my background in hypnosis is really diverse and integrative. So in my clinical practice, I like to pick up what it's best from clinical and experimental hypnosis, and also what is more useful in the Ericksonian approach. I realize that the Ericksonian approach has some limitations and criticisms, especially from a research standpoint. And as I'm a clinical psychologist and also a very adept of research, I see those limitations and I can understand them. Certain limitations comes from the way that the Ericksonian approach is structured, the way that it lacks a certain manualized procediment in which clinical research or should I say experimental research is based on. You have to have a standardized procedure or a standardized research design to have some reliable data, and the Ericksonian approach is not well suited for the experimental side. So I can understand all the criticisms, and I see all the limitations. I like to say that I'm an Ericksonian, but I'm not so hardcore that I can't see the limitations, the downsides, the criticisms. And that's why I like to consider myself an integrative person and an integrative professional, such as in the field of psychotherapy. I'm a CBT trained psychotherapist, but I also can see the limitations of the CBT approach, and I like to integrate all other ideas, other thoughts, and other techniques in my psychotherapeutic style. so to speak. So I realize all those things, but I still am a defender, an advocate of the positive things of the Ericksonian approach, and that's why I'm so tilted and saddened to see that nowadays everyone can name themselves an Ericksonian therapist, or should I say an Ericksonian hypnotherapist, especially in countries like, for example, Portugal, that the good representation of hypnosis is very lacking. We have a bunch of hypnosis courses that are created and thought and sold by lay therapists. What I mean by lay therapists is that they are not health professionals. They don't have any training in health professions like psychology, psychiatry, medicine, nursery, etc. They don't have the clinical background, the research background that can support all the content and all the criticisms and all the views that they supposedly teach in those courses. They are mainly people who had NLP training, coaching training, and some debatable hypnosis courses, and they combine all those things and mix them up in a very well package, a very brightful marketing package, and they sell it. They sell it to everyone without prerequisite, sorry, the word escaped my tongue. Without no considerations of the professional or the academic degree that someone has. So, for instance, an accountant or a lawyer or an economist can suddenly learn hypnosis and learn NLP and coaching, and directly or indirectly it's persuaded to open a business into doing therapy, and they don't know how to do therapy. What they are taught is simply how to hypnotize someone, how to read or how to search scripts, hypnotic scripts for depression, anxiety, and all those kind of things, and they can they can recite it, they can read it, or they can memorize it, so they can deliver to someone that happens to reach out for them for their help. And they don't know how to deliver, how to make change, how to have the flexibility to develop hypotheses from what is probably happening in the life of someone. The interventions are not scientifically supported, so they have no training in psychotherapy. But they are convinced that they can deliver superior interventions to in comparisons with psychologists, psychiatrists, or physicians, because hypnosis cures everything. So they are told. And that's a shame. And I'm tilted and saddened because those kind of courses include the words Erickson, the legacy of Milton Erickson, include some aspects, but not all of them. And in my mind, it's not sufficient to include permissive or indirect suggestions, and if I do indirect suggestions or permissive suggestions, or if I told stories, yeah, well, golly, I'm automatically an Ericksonian. What about the utilization approach? The way that Ericksonians view hypnosis and psychotherapy, all the different kinds of developments in the Ericksonian approach since Milton Erickson. People like Ernest Rossi, like Jeff Zeig, like Michael Yapko, like Bill O'Halloran. What? They are only Ericksonians because they utilize permissive language? That's bullshit. That's utterly bullshit. If that's the case, a lot of researchers are Ericksonians because they realize that in certain conditions and certain clinical interventions, it is more efficient to be permissive sometimes. So whenever they are permissive, they are automatically Ericksonian therapists. That's bullshit. There are certain courses, not only in Portugal, but in all other countries, that describe hypnosis as some hocus pocus, esoteric approach, like, for example, past life regressions and all those shady theories. And because they include the word Erickson, or they included a title that is, oh, we do an Ericksonian style of hypnosis, people automatically condition themselves to believe that, oh, okay, if that kind of bullshit is an Ericksonian style approach, well, everything that it's acute Ericksonian is a complete garbage, and that's not true. And that's not true. The Ericksonian approach has advantages, especially in clinical settings. So, in doing this video, especially in English, I hope to reach out to every person that is truly an Ericksonian, and if they are in the position to realize that the Ericksonian name is utilized in a very lenient way, please be mindful to protect what is the legacy of Milton Erickson, because Milton Erickson is, or should I say was, a very important figure in hypnosis and psychotherapy. So please do not think that if you are utilizing or simply utilizing permissive language, you are automatically an Ericksonian. That's simply not true. If someone claims to be an Ericksonian therapist or an Ericksonian hypnotherapist, ask them if they trained under someone credited by the Milton H. Erickson Foundation, because the Milton H. Erickson Foundation is the place that you can go to receive training, real training, into the real Ericksonian approach to hypnosis and psychotherapy. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all be safe and healthy. I'll see you next time.